everyone? This is Jeremy here at ExtremeWeatherTracker.com, updating your tropical weather at noon on August the 2nd, 2011. As you can see, on the visible satellite imagery, we have Tropical Storm Emily to talk about here in the Atlantic Basin, and also want to talk about another tropical wave located here around 34 West. We want to deal with Emily first. Let me switch over to this is the Tropical Atlantic Floater. This is a satellite that's designated to this tropical storm, and as you can see on satellite imagery here, we have Emily, the center of which is located somewhere just to the west under this ball of convection here that's off to the north and east side of Emily. Emily is not very well organized at this time, but as you can see, it does have some banding features going on, and it appears on the satellite imagery as it is getting a little bit better organized. Although the hurricane hunters that entered the storm this morning only found winds of about 35 knots max wind, and the lowest pressure in this area here was only 1,007 millibars, indicating that Emily has remained weak overnight. Some additional strengthening is forecast as Emily moves off to the west-northwest at about 12 miles per hour this afternoon. Now I want to switch over to this is the total precipitable water imagery, and this kind of shows us what's going on with Emily and the reason she's staying weak. As you can see, the center of Emily is located here just to the west of the Lesser Antilles Islands, and the orange colors on this map show deep water vapor, and the blue and green colors are dry air. And as you can see, a large area of dry air is being drawn into Emily's circulation at this time. And so Emily is fighting this dry air, and this is actually weakening Emily and keeping her from becoming better organized. You can see the dry air to the north of the system, and as this Tropical Storm Emily moves on to the west-northwest, it should continue to encounter this dry air, possibly keeping her weak over the next 48 hours. I want to show you the intensity forecast. And this is valid at 12 noon today, and as you can see, the intensity gradually increases up until the next 36 hours, and you can see on the hour 48 here we have a weakening of Emily, and I believe that is going to be due to the interaction with land, possibly the interaction with Haiti or the Dominican Republic over the next 48 hours as it crosses those islands. I want to show you on the this is the back to the floater. This is Puerto Rico here, and this is the Dominican Republic here, and Haiti is just to the west off the screen. But in the central portions of the Dominican Republic, there are mountain ranges that have mountains of 10,000 feet. So that could definitely disrupt this storm if the center of Emily does move across the Dominican Republic over the next several couple of days, rather. This is the rainbow imagery of Emily. As you can see, Emily has some deep convection associated with her, but it's mainly off to the north and the east side. The recon plane that flew into the system was finding light and variable winds on the south side, so that's an indicator that this storm is remaining weak. But as I was saying, this is Haiti here, and this is the Dominican Republic here, and of course we have this is the eastern tip of Cuba, and then we have the Bahamas up here. So Emily is forecasted, as you can see, this trough that's draped over the eastern seaboard right now and off into the Atlantic. This is expected to dig into the high pressure, the Azores High that's located in this area here, and actually start to turn Emily a little bit more to the north and west over the next several days. And the National Hurricane Center is predicting that it move across Haiti and through the Bahamas, and then possibly brushing the east coast before getting picked up by this trough and recurve back out to sea. So all interest in Florida and all those along the east coast of the United States, all the way into the eastern Gulf of Mexico, should definitely keep an eye on this, and I'll show you why. These are the model tracks. This was initiated at the 12Z run. As you can see, the center of Emily we talked about was in here, and as you can see, the consensus of the models brings it across Haiti, and then from there the models spread out quite a bit, and they're in not very good agreement As you can see, a lot of the global models like the Canadian and the European model want to bring this into the eastern Gulf of Mexico and into the western portions of Florida, even into the Florida Panhandle. Also, the BAM suites are also keeping this more on a southerly track. But some of the more dynamical models like the GFDL and the GFS want to actually recurve this before reaching Florida. So it's still up in the air. Now, like I mentioned before, if Emily can survive its trek across these islands without it tearing it apart, this island here, Dominican Republic, has been known in the past to tear tropical cyclones apart and them never reorganize. So if it comes in between the islands here, it may have a chance to reorganize after it gets in this area here and actually affect the Bahamas and the southern tip of Florida, possibly even the Florida Panhandle, if it gets far enough to the west to get into the Gulf of Mexico. Right now, though, that looks unlikely at this time. This is the National Hurricane Center's forecast track. This was as of 11 a.m. on this Tuesday, and as you can see, they bring the center right across the tip of Haiti, right across the eastern tip of Cuba, and then across the Bahamas, and then the center of their track is basically missing the east coast of Florida, although the east coast of Florida is still included in the cone of probabilities here before it recurves it out. The only thing with their track that I don't really agree with is I believe that once this actually gets a little further north and it feels that trough, I believe it'll recurve more sharply out to sea rather than this gentle recurve that they have, maybe possibly brushing the North Carolina coastline. I don't believe that'll happen. I do believe it'll recurve more sharply as it feels as the winds from this trough pick it up and bring it on out a little more sharply to the east. But it's anybody's guess at this point, the exact landfall. If we do have a U.S. landfall, I do believe it'll be somewhere in Florida. I believe Florida is probably in the bullseye for this, so we definitely need to keep our guard up. Now, switching gears just a second, I do want to talk about this tropical wave located here at around 34 west, which is exhibiting lots of convection over the last few satellite runs. So we'll have to definitely keep an eye on this thing over the next couple days, as it will be entering more favorable area for development, just like Tropical Storm Emily here. So we'll keep an eye on this. I believe the National Hurricane Center will probably recognize this sometime in the next 2 or 3 tropical weather outlooks, possibly giving it a yellow circle at 20%. So we'll have some more trouble down the road. There's also another wave coming off of Africa that's not in the screen that we'll definitely have to keep an eye on. And another interesting feature, the last thing I want to talk about, is as this front trails off and the trough gets pulled on out and the ridging builds back in, we could possibly have a trough split with the tail of this trough setting back in the eastern Gulf of Mexico, possibly moving to the west, and it'll probably will ventilate Emily as Emily comes up into this area here. But it's going to be interesting how that trough split will affect Emily and what happens to the tail of that trough that gets left back in the Gulf of Mexico. So that's another thing we'll have to watch for, that homegrown tropical trouble that we sometimes talk about. So anyway, I hope you guys have a great afternoon. Check the website for more information, and also all these great graphics and the spaghetti model plots for Emily. And I hope you guys have a great afternoon. This is Jeremy here at ExtremeWeatherTracker.com. See you all again soon.